episode is wrapped. Episode 2 that we recorded, Jeremiah Knight, producing the majority of these first few episodes. But here we are again on another editorial that just follows Creating the Space. Here with me today is Nalah and Ross Nyanga. Awesome, amazing friends of mine here in the lovely city of Oakland, California. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just want to throw out there, I think it's dope for people to hear. Mr. Knight here is one hell of a ball player.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You may not realize, but he can help you in life and destroy your life and cross you over.
Yep. Breaking ankles.
Breaking ankles.
Healing feelings.
Yes.
That's
yes.
the service I provide.
It's the duality in our lives, right?
Breaking ankles, healing feelings.
Yeah.
Come see me at my practice if you guys need that.
Yeah. Don't try your local therapist.
Don't try me.
Don't try your therapist. You never know.
There you go. That's my new slogan. Don't try me. On the court, in the room, on the couch. Perfect. So for our episode, if we give a short recap, Creating Space was a passion project of mine. Maybe a little selfish, inquisitory opportunity to bring people in and ask them how they do their job or what goes into their work. So Creating Space is mainly focused on kind of how people created an environment in which people could come in and heal, be themselves, be authentic, and heal from the traumas or the insecurities that they may have within them. There are many different components in which this went, but the main two being the things that you kind of put in the room or in the space that you're interacting with other people, as well as who you need to be or what pieces of you emphasize in your relationship with your clients or patients in order to give them the space for them to really bring what they need to into the room or to be inspired to work on whatever their goals are. You may not know, but we pre-produce these episodes. They don't happen week to week. That first episode was recorded back in May. It is now lovely
Late November.
So fair to say that our guests and I have had plenty of time to marinate on this idea or this topic and
Evolve.
I think we brought some things back. One of the things we did discuss off air was not only going and reviewing what I previously discussed, the environment we present to our clients and patients, the people who we need to be to kind of emphasize this, but Ross brought up a great point of not only do those two pieces or components are in this mix, but also within creating the space, we have to create that space within our clients and patients. Can you elaborate more on that, Ross?
Yeah. And I don't even want to make it sound like it's a cookie cutter at all, because I think every individual healer is going to have their own kind of way of trying to facilitate a safe healing environment. But one of the things that I find is really important is to make it safe for clients to engage with their feelings and emotions. And how I generally find myself doing so is trying to name the different elements that have created a lack of safety around engaging ourselves in our emotions. And so depending upon the setting or the individuals, we might talk about patriarchy. We might talk about race. We might talk about racism, the experience of slavery, and how, if you're familiar with Dr. Joy DeGruy's work, who writes Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, the impact of generations of brutality and stuff like that impacts how we now see our ability to manage stress or to even acknowledge stress. Right? A simple example is if you're expected to be up from sunup to sundown and work hard, and that your value system within that environment for generations is the more you produce throughout that time period, the more value you have as an individual, then how hard is it to then humanize yourself enough to recognize the impact of that much work is having on you, right? Because my value comes from producing in that time frame. Then if I acknowledge that it's actually wearing me down and I'm unable to continue to produce at that level, well, now that brings about an insecurity in my value to my community and those around me. You know, and this plays out today many times within relationships and households where you have men and women who have worked and have a really negative perception around rest.
Yeah, man, we can't sleep. I don't sleep. No.
Or this is the famous one. This is the famous one. How you doing? I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. Oh, okay.
You're on that grind.
Got it.
I'm hustling.
Yeah, I'm hustling. You know what I mean? I'm going. Okay, how many hours did you work today? 10, 11 hours? All day. You doing all right? Yeah, I just got some more things to, bang out. Okay, well, how's your kids? Yeah, I'm gonna get to them too. Oh, okay, then, and your partner? Yeah, and we're gonna. So, when do you sleep?
Sleep when I die.
No. That'd be the thing that they go to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just on that grind, man. You know what I mean? I gotta knock this out. You know what I mean? Because I gotta get that generational wealth. I get that generational wealth. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying? It's for the babies, it's for the kids.
Black excellence. Gotta do it.
Right. I gotta set that bar. You know what I'm saying? Set that standard high. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, well, what happens if you don't make it because your body doesn't recover? And so now you're dealing with hypertension and high blood pressure and heart disease and, and then you're not eating well and you're not, you're stressed out. So how are you communicating your relationships? And because you're not rested, it's hard for you to stay focused and on task. And so even how you produce isn't necessarily at your optimum, which brings about more stress.
Right.
Because now you're trying to make up for that. Right. And it's like, so not resting is actually working against you. But the idea of not resting brings about this insecurity of, am I valued for not potentially producing as much as I think that I could or should in this maximal amount of time?
Because the amount of productivity time I deliver means that I'm doing well and I'm successful, et cetera, et cetera.
And it means you're valued by the people you love the most.
I think the concept that you bring up is like, I really love it because it captures, we can do all that we can to the environment. We can be the most greatest person, but we have to really focus on and keep in mind of what people are bringing into the room, not just what their emotions are, but their history, their experiences, their mindset, and just kind of like, if you're have a mindset of, today's going to be a shitty day and this is going to be a horrible workout, there's nothing I can do to kind of make this any better.
Or the misexpectation of even what your capacity is. You're starting your day and you're like, I'm going to drop off the kids. I'm going to go to work, come back. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do them. You create this long list for one day and you only got 4 hours of sleep last night. And you're going off a bag of chips, whatever you picked up from the, local
corner store,
corner store food truck. And then you come back and you wonder why it's tough to engage with your partner and be present with your kids and all these different things, And so it's like the misexpectation around your own capacity that's built around this kind of social construct of a value system that you're not even realize is playing out in your life.
Playing out, and then you're not paying attention to it. It's just there and it's in you. And I think it's not telling people what to do, but just keep in mind of, and this is what the whole episode is. It's just being mindful of the environment, what you bring into the room, and what other people are bringing into the room. Nalah, with that idea, at least how does that kind of come up within your work, or at least the classes that you run? At least being mindful about what people are bringing in.
Yeah, that's crazy to think that like that's autopilot for most people. That's the level that you feel like you need to be at in life in general. Because it's mostly like what I want to provide for people. So I don't get like the feedback that you might get of like, this is going on and this is what I'm doing. But it shows in when I think about like the movement that I give people to kind of like try on in their own bodies.
Yeah.
Whether it's in yoga or in dance, but like mostly in yoga, because I feel like I'll give them certain poses or certain movements to do, and then they'll think they have to force themselves into certain positions.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, I got to do it just like that. And even though it doesn't feel good, I'm still going to do it because this is what it is. And I'm like, no. If this doesn't work for you, here are some other alternatives. But I'll get like...
tree pose.
Yeah. The wobbling, that definitely happened. And it was like one of the guys, and you can tell when people are really, really, really hard on themselves.
Yeah.
When they try to like do it like a balancing like tree pose. Yeah. And he's just like, I can't get it. Disrupting the whole class because he's struggling. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. We're hearing the negative thoughts that come up for you because you can't be in it. So it's just being able to guide people through that and have it be okay. Like, it's okay. The wobbling is actually good because it's working on those stabilizing muscles in your ankles and in your feet.
Right.
And so to like kind of shift their perspective on how they show up. But then when they try to force themselves into these positions, I know because I've been on the other side and I'm like, I'm going to do it just like the yoga teacher's doing it. And it doesn't feel good in my body, but that's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to do it like that. But it's just also showing up with like that, like me practicing mindfulness and being like, okay, that's what it looks like on you. But on me, I can allow it to be different. And I can allow it to feel like more easeful. And I don't have to struggle. But we get so addicted to that struggle, right? Because the struggle is the autopilot that we live in. So it's like, how do we then like flip that and be like, you know what? This feels easier and this feels better. And then when you have that mindset, then your body's like, oh, okay, you want to do something that's like easy. And then your body opens up more and you're able to do more. But it's just that being mindful of it and like thinking about it in a different way.
And not too many people are coming with that, or at least aware of those pieces within them. A lot of the time they kind of go through their life and they feel, or they have learned because of experiences and relationships that, oh no, you have to not sleep, or otherwise you won't be successful. Oh, I have to be perfect, otherwise I won't have like love. And they develop these like misconceptions that restrict them so much that like, okay, I have to get this pose or else like,
I haven't done it. I haven't done it at all. All right.
But now I have to get it, even if it's my first time. And I have to remind them, like, this is a practice. This is something that we practice. It's not like you come here and you do this. This is a practice. And it's a practice of undoing that mindset of, like, gotta get it, gotta hustle, gotta, like, work hard, gotta not sleep. Like, you have to practice now to go the other direction, which is, like, a hard stop and switch. Like, you can't stop and switch. You have to, like, slowly transition to the other side.
So another thing that you said, like, hopefully eventually we'll know what they're bringing into the room, but sometimes we are a little blind to it. We don't know exactly what they're coming in with, or sometimes we skip that step because we're trying to get to the goal, or, you know, what we talked about last week. At least then trying to make sure that we be mindful about that and slow down and ask, where are you really at? Instead of just like, hey, how are you doing today? I'm fine. Because like Ross said, like, people will say, cool, let's get on to, I don't want to feel this piece. Like, I just, you know, let's get to the end goal.
That's not what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm not here to deal with this. I'm here to just experience this over here. That's good. And I was just going to say, it's the internal judgments.
Inner critic.
Yeah. And that's why I think one of the necessities to create safe internal space is to name those things. Yeah. It's to name, like, we want to make sure that we practice non-judgment and recognize what areas of ourselves we do judge. Right? My performance, my perfectionism, right? My ability to produce, right? How much am I producing? Right. And I was actually curious, how do you go about creating that internal, like, safety? Because I know, like, the first time I did yoga, coming out of sports, I was sitting there, I was like, out here, look at all these old women. I'm like the only dude in the whole class of like 30. I'm like, all right, let me just do this. And she was like, get into this. I was like, my whole body was shaking. I was tipping, and I was just like, I was sweating, and everyone else just like, you know, just like, I'm just like, like, damn it, you know. I was so aggravated and frustrated with my body for not performing, you know, and especially when you're in sports and athletics, you're used to performing, like your body performs,
stabilizing, stable,
just being great at it all,
at it all, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, you're not. Oh no, not having it.
This is not okay.
It took me like 5 years to come back to yoga.
Rodney called you. Right
Yo,
now.
that's literally. Shout out Barbershop Yoga. You know, Chocolate Buddha Yoga. Rondi had his class, and I think a good friend of mine invited me to the class. And I think
you invited me.
I invited you right after. Yeah. And that was the first time I felt safe to allow my body not to be perfect.
Yeah, especially around men, other black men.
Other black men. And we were all struggling. Yeah, we were all looking over like, right there with you.
Just doing the moves are so easy.
Oh, man. And God bless Rondi. I always tell him there's two versions of Rondi. There's the Rondi when he's doing it with you, and there's the Rondi when he's going around the room and watch. It's two totally different levels.
Yeah.
It's when he's walking around the room, he's like, and we're gonna hold here for a while. I'm like, why?
Right. Yeah.
What he's doing it with you? I'm like, nah, we're just gonna flow today. It's good. It's gonna, But I think one of the things that did help to create a safe space is being in a cultural environment that could push away more unconscious distractions and things that tell you you're in a new space, you're in a different space.
Yeah.
Right. So Ronnie was playing like old school Marvin Gaye, in the background, or he was playing jazz. He got Coltrane and Miles, and there was a certain level of relaxation.
Yeah.
And so that I know that definitely helped me.
Yeah.
Definitely helped.
I was gonna say that's one of the things too that help, especially like now that I'm teaching in a Black setting, like the music really helps to be like, oh, okay, we're in this together. Like we're all here.
Yeah.
We're enjoying this like atmosphere. But it's also like one thing that stood out to me in a yoga class was like when a teacher was like, just mind your mat, like mind your own business on your own mat. And don't try to look like anybody else. Don't even try to look like the instructor, but pay attention to what's going on in your body. And it forces you to then create that space, that safe space for you. Because it's like, okay, if I'm minding my own business and doing what feels good in my body, then I have to be mindful of not stretching too far or finding something easy and being mindful of maybe pushing a little bit further or holding it a little bit longer or opening a little bit more. So that's one of the things is just pay attention to what's happening with you and your mind and your body and yourself.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's something like you're keeping in mind what could be popping up. You're not calling anybody out. You're just like, hey, if this pops up, planting seeds within them of just like, hey, if doubt it starts to sprout, no, don't let it sprout. Let it stay down. You're doing fine. We are all here together. Like so you see you're encouraging camaraderie and at least trying to cut down on that inner critic, cut down on the doubts, cut down on the insecurities, and just like, hey, I know that's there. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to bring that here today.
Yeah.
And if it does, naming it allows them to identify it sooner.
Yeah.
So and be like, oh, I'm doing the thing. Don't do the thing.
Oh, it's there. It's there.
Stay focused on the mat. Stay focused on the mat.
Yeah.
I think, at least talking about Rondi, I think for me, it was just more so of like the connection. For me, that allowed me to kind of come into that space when it was time to come to do yoga and just him even just going around and just like, hey, it's all right. You don't have to push it too hard. You're wobbling. It's okay.
Yeah.
Here's some alternatives. And just being able to kind of have that personal one-on-one discussion.
Yeah.
He's not blowing me out into everybody else. Letting me know. Like, everybody
if
know.
you're doing it like this, you're doing it wrong.
And just look at one person. You're doing it wrong.
Everyone turned it.
Or just being able to kind of like have one-on-one conversations with clients and like, hey, look, let's be honest here. Let's be real. And trying to allow that kind of connection to please. So what's coming up? Let me push you to be vulnerable. If the integrate that does come up, it's fine. That's probably we absolve them of that stress, that fear, that worry that they may have. It's fine. No one's. I was gonna say like whipping, but like no, that's like no, let's not say that. You're not getting spanking. You're not getting like blasting on social media, not being canceled. Like this is just inner you that's being authentic and the person that you've been pretending to be for a while. And let's put that away and just show me your real you, and you can still be successful and show your real self. But it all comes down to just the connection you have with people, because otherwise, then no, like why should I let go of my wall if I consider you a threat? I don't feel you welcoming or being able to hold this space for me. It doesn't feel safe for me. And so to kind of create spaces and put lipstick on the pig but not have this connection. I mean,
I haven't heard that one before. Lipstick on the pig. What is that?
I pictured it. I didn't like it.
I was like, wait, what is that supposed to be?
It's a saying.
It's a saying. Okay, it's out there. It's out there. Somebody Google it. Somebody Google it.
Gotcha. One thing for me is like, I feel like when we have someone who's like the instructor or like the therapist or like they're on that side, we're like, oh, they're up here and we're down here. So I like it when instructors, like my yoga instructors, share their story and I can kind of like humanize them and be like, oh, they struggle too. Like we're all in this together. What?
Yes.
So
No.
I'm like, so when I
yes.
used to,
Yes.
I would teach and I'd be like, this is something that I've struggled with too. And just let them know that struggle is a part of it and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like we're all in this together. We're all human. Nobody's like superhuman because we could do. So I like to share like a little bit of my story, you know, just connect with them on that level. And I feel like it kind of like eases the tension in the room. And then they're like, oh, okay. She's one of us. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Say more about that, because I know in the therapy field, there's this, I'm not gonna say it's entirely taboo, but self-disclosure, right, is a very like...
Yeah, I experienced that with my therapist, and we were talking about mother wound things, and she brought up something about her mother, and I was like, oh my God, she's sharing something about herself. And I was so excited to hear her just share a struggle that she had and just relate to me in that way. Mm-hmm. I felt like it kind of leveled it out a little bit and brought us together closer as patient and therapist. But also, you feel like the other person has everything figured out. And then you're like, no, they struggle too. Okay. Yeah.
Some people like the hierarchy. Some people like to I need to be up here. And, you know, as soon as class is over, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to just slide out the back door. See you guys next week. So...
That's true.
You know, I'm man, I don't even know if you want to. I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but yeah, it's just how you know how I'm just gonna,
when you say that, bring it up.
You know, I'm curious how therapists create safety within their practice to still be a part of community, because I know a major experience that I've seen and heard about is the longer you're in the profession, the more you walk around with this professionalism, and when you go out and you're in community, it's hard to let your own guards down, to be fully present, to be fully you. Yeah. Wild, goofy, fun, crazy part of you that needs to let go. Like, well, can I let go if potentially a client might walk by, you know, and I'm, you know, just coming out of a, you know, a bar or a club or something, and I'm just, exhaling in life, you know, and they see me, and it's like, personally, I felt like it's always been a challenge to remind myself to be intentional about letting myself let go.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that goes into the topic, at least I brought in today. It was just more so of what goes into, or at least how do you guys go about setting rules, structure, expectations for the components that you want for your spaces that you're creating. Of course, we all kind of have an idea of what we want for their environment, or at least an idea of what we feel like will foster the healing that we're hoping to achieve in these kind of relationships with our clients and patients, class attendees, etc. Whether it's openness or a non-judgmental space, or a place where you can be honest and vulnerable, or a piece of just, for me, it's been like just trying. You don't have to succeed, but just try. Experiment a little bit with me. Dig deep. At least I'm, as a therapist, trying to be able to kind of keep in mind about what's happening outside. I think there's some piece of me of, I think I talk a lot about being an active participant with my depressed client. There is a life out there. I need you to go and live it. There's going to be things in there that you do not like. I need you to speak about it. I need you to tell people that you don't like things. The things that you don't like, I need you to try and change them. I need the people that you feel like you want better connections with, I need you to go and develop better connections.
Send them a text. Yeah.
So, I mean, I can say all that, but one of the pieces is, if I'm not going out and do that, how can I preach and tell you to do that? And so one of those pieces of, if I'm going to encourage people to do what I'm asking, I need to hold myself to a standard of, I'm going out and trying. I'm going out and doing things. I'm going out and making connections, or trying to make connections, or at least trying to do things that feel uncomfortable. I'm going to try and like be mindful. I'm going to try and do my own work, because how am I going to tell you to go do whatever, but that's hard, and I'm not. And so even when it comes to, going out and trying to be vulnerable and open and live life, that is a piece in which, like, okay, standards. I mean, I'm not going to go do crack cocaine in the streets and stuff, or like, I'm not going to set buildings on fire. But like, I'm going to go and have a good time. And if you see me out there, hey, I'm practicing what I'm preaching.
Keep it moving.
Exactly. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. Yeah. And that definitely takes a level of internal safety, that it's okay to not be seen as perfect, as I have all the answers,
Yeah. I think there's another piece in for me. It's just like I had to do my own work. Like I think you had already mentioned about being mindful of what you're handing off to people. And so if my perspective isn't clear, if I'm not fully healed, I could be passing that on to other people. For me, like as I've been in therapy, I've realized that like, okay, I may have more of an avoidant attachment in the sense of like everything's on me. Everything doesn't get done unless I do it. I'm the only one that can get it done, kind of like idea, mindset. And so looking back, talking about it, working with my therapist on that, I've noticed that, that has bled through my whole like practice and how the work I've done with people, and just been like, okay, well, hey, there's been plenty of times where I've said, yes, you're unhappy with things, and yet you still gotta show up to work, you still gotta go have fun, you still gotta do things. How are you gonna do it? And so like kind of putting ownership on them and just like, hey, are you getting exactly what you need from this relationship? If you're not, then like kind of being really structured, really logical. Have you made attempts? And if you have not, then it's time to do it. And more so like putting the onus on them rather than all the other additional factors that could be in play, and talking it kind of like when I'm talking to Nalah about, are you just fixing the solution? Are you just like trying to address one need and then like, oh yeah, I'm not even thinking about what you're coming in? There's some pieces in which like I realize that piece, and so reaffirms I need to do my work, at least, and that's not bleeding in or people aren't taking that out into the world.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about like one of my favorite examples is looking at different sports athletes who have been amazing, all-time greats, right? I always use like Shaq, right?
Oh yeah.
Shaq was horrible at shooting free throws, but he was so amazing at so many other things. And how terrible would it have been for him to have hyper-focused on the free throws?
Yeah, and throwing everything else out the way. Like,
he's not shooting threes, right? He doesn't have a jump shot. He's Shaq. And some of us forget we are amazing in many other areas, especially when we're in relationships with others. Like if you ask your significant other why they got with you in the first place, right? If you ask your family members or your best friends who are around you why they spend time with you and why they enjoy being around, right? There's so many things that they find amazing and attractive about you. And it's so easy to hyper-focus on these singular areas, and it doesn't diminish them, but it's just to say, you ain't never been perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you never will be. So it's like, so why hyper-focus there when you're already being loved and embraced? It's like, have that internal balance, you know? But yeah.
You feel like that's one of the, at least the boundaries or expectations you have to set for yourself to kind of maintain your space. It's like, I have to have balance. I have to kind of like not be too hard on myself and just kind of stay in the middle. Because
I mean, I have a very hectic schedule and I grew up on CP time. So sometimes I'm like running late and I'm smashing. I'm just like, Russ, it's okay. It's okay. You're going to be 2 minutes late. Send them a text. They'll have grace. It's okay. You know, and sure enough, you know, hey, how's it going? In 5 seconds after seeing each other, you know, you forgot all about that. You're starting 3 minutes behind, but it's one of those internal narratives I have to like confront constantly. Like you didn't have to have everything set up just right, perfectly, everything, you know?
Yeah. I think one thing that comes up for me is self-trust. So it's like, I can give you these moves and I can give you this to do, but you have to trust yourself to know what is for you and what is not for you. It's always interesting watching. I give people a move and then I encourage people in my class to make their own choices. For example, if we're going to squat, choose your level of squat. So when I say low is between you and your knees and your hips. Have that conversation with your body and pick what your level of low is. Yeah, because it could be at different levels. You know, you don't have to get your hips parallel with your knees. That doesn't have to be your low. Yeah. So pick a low that feels really good for you. And it's always great to like watch people make those choices. And I'm like, yes, I love these choices that you're making for yourself. Yeah. So it's like forcing you to learn your body and then learn to trust your body and trust yourself. Like challenge a little bit, but also listen to your body. So
this is trust, though, at least like one of those pieces that you have to implement for yourself too, or at least.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while. Because just like growing up as a dancer and learning to like not trust your body, but like trust what you're being shown, because it's like, this is how you have to perform. Yeah. This is what you have to do, and just do that. And I developed like a disconnect between trusting my body and what I know my abilities are and pushing myself to do that. But that's not sustainable over time. So like learning that actually doesn't work for my body.
Yeah. I was thinking more in the sense of like trusting your ability that like you're the expert in the room. Because I mean, I imagine there's sometimes where you're like, is this the right lesson plan? Is this the right line of motion? Are I doing it right? Am I planting the right seeds? How do you kind of maintain like that level of trust for yourself so you can maintain the space?
Great question. That's a
great question.
Hey, look at me.
As the expert in the room doing these discussions.
That Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think for me, like, there's two levels to it. So like I'll trust myself on like when I'm by myself with my own excitement, and I set up the playlist and I'm like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But I've actually learned to trust myself on a different level of like surveying the room and the energy that people show up with and adjusting according to that. So I've learned to basically like I can have an overall plan, but now I'm at the level where I can trust myself to come in and freestyle, because I'm like, okay, I kind of gauge what you're needing and what's working. And so I'll take it from there and then just go along with what I'm being told without words being said.
Right.
I love that. Because as soon as you said freestyle, I was thinking about many times, especially when you have new clients.
Yeah.
You have this idea of like, how you're going to onboard and talk about all this stuff, and we want to get through this basic information. But then when you sit down in the room and you see their body language,
it's gone.
And it's just like, oh, okay, so we're going to go this way.
Right, yeah.
Because right now, an hour, maybe 40 minutes, Yeah. Or you get there and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta have some buffer time because we're gonna
pack some things.
We're going in. Stuff is coming up, and then you have to like trust yourself to navigate that whole moment. Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely in those moments, it's like a lot of things gonna come up because it's like I think I know they're coming in with, and then it's it's all on the table. Can I handle it? Then our critic comes in, and I have to trust myself, or else all this falls apart. The walls kind of cave in a little bit. The table loses a leg, and if I don't trust in my abilities, it'll come to me.
Yeah,
and it always does. And so
it always does.
You have to hold it.
Remember to trust.
Yeah,
trust yourself.
That's crazy how much it always does come together. Like in those moments, like you just like okay, well, I'm kind of let's go this route, and all of a sudden it's like, this road is taking me exactly where I wanted to go.
This feels right, and then freestyling, and then it just comes to you and just like, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
That takes a level of surrender to be able to trust.
Yeah,
be like, you know what? Yeah, because every time it's gonna come together how it's meant to come together, and you kind of just have to be like, you know what? Let it flow and just kind of go with that flow.
Yeah, I know one of your components was at least creating a non-judgmental space. For you, what boundaries or structure you need to put in place for you to kind of make sure that you're kind of presenting that in like an authentic way? Because I think there's a sense of, if you're gonna let the chisme come in, the drama, you're gonna let the bad vibes cloud your mind. It can easily get, I'm judgmental, but I can do it on a whim. I can create this non-judgmental zone, but it's not going to be authentic. People aren't going to feel it as it's not going to be as potent as you want it. What do you have to do in order to or make sure that you are providing a non-judgmental space?
Sorry, having flashbacks of when I wasn't in that space, but it's interesting to think about what goes into it for me now and how I have to keep practicing that basically. But trying to show up with this air of perfection, I have to do this perfectly, and if I don't, then the judging comes in, and then the class gets kind of weird, and I feel like they can sense that something's off, but they don't know what's off. just gets more jagged and less like smooth and flowy. So I think for me, it's been building up compassion and changing the critic in my mind to be a cheerleader instead, being like, this is great. Okay, that didn't work. What's next? Just keep it moving. And just like having to practice that self-talk in my mind as I'm going through it. So if I mess up, I can now like call it out. It's like, I noticed it, and then maybe you didn't notice it, but I noticed it. Yeah. So we're going to bring this up in this space. And like you were saying, just call it out so that it has less power over you. This song isn't working. Let's change it. Yeah. And everybody's like, okay, like they'll just go along with it. Cool. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't have to be as hard on myself. Yeah. I can be compassionate with myself. Yep. And then in that, teaching others that, okay, she messed up, but it's fine.
Yeah. And I have been a part of some of Nalah's classes when you're doing Jam Down and you'll like have a certain song, you'll be like, I actually want to do a different song. And she'll just go to a different, and you're sitting there waiting like, all right, I could have used an extra break anyhow. So I'm going to take these 4.5 extra seconds for you to figure out the next track, breathe, and like, okay, this is it. All right, we're back to it, Yeah. And it flows and it works,
No one notices it's actually a Nalah break or anything else. So
at all.
Yeah.
It's so interesting just how interdependent or interconnected we all are, even in the space of being a facilitator of healing and support or the receiver of it.
Yeah.
Like we're still literally in this connection. It's not just you. It's not you and there. It's like, no, actually we're doing this back and forth thing. We're here conversing, we're here learning, we're here figuring it out. And there's like so many moments I'll tell a client, I'm like, man, like as I'm sharing something with them, I'm like, man, I know this is going to come back and I'm going to be working on exactly this.
Yeah. And to think about like, we have the space to figure it out. I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
And the right tools to help you figure it out. And then we have the connection to figure it out together. And just all those are, when they come together, and then it works. So when we've talked about boundaries and structure for us, at least then what boundaries and rules do you kind of enforce for your clients or attendees or patients? I know like when we talked about like just internal security and support and care, I know there's pieces in there where I get in there and I'm like, hey, this inner critic, those feelings, let's separate them, let's externalize them. They are over there, let's turn them down. But at least then we can actually talk about what's really happening, what you're really feeling, without feeling guilty, without feeling shame. Let's really get into it. Pushing them in that sense. And they know that if you're going to come in here, I expect you to try. I expect you to push. I expect you to kind of really share what's going on. Otherwise, I can't do my job. So I need to hold you to that standard. So we know, like, then these insecurities can come up and I can say, hey, that's fine. There's sometimes where clients kind of want like, I just don't know how to put into words. And it's like, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Take your time. There's no rush. Not getting being graded on it.
Right.
Be you. Yeah. And so take your time to find it.
Yeah.
And when it finally comes out, it may not come perfect. I'm like, okay, you can revise it. It's not locked in stone. I'm not.
Yeah.
This is in the podcast.
Nope, that's what you said. That's what you said.
Gotcha. So like, no, you can come back. Tell me next week that
as
actually,
many times you need.
Yeah, I thought about it, and actually, I think it would mean more of this. It fits more. Perfect. And there's no fire alarms. No buildings are falling apart. Not being arrested. Like, no, it's perfect.
Yeah. I like that. That reminds me of like, I like to remind people that this is not an audition. Like they're not auditioning for anything.
Yeah.
They're not being like rated or graded or judged. And like, just do the best that feels like it's your best. Mm-hmm. And also in the spirit of living in your joy and feeling really good in your body.
Yeah.
I'm going to also ask you to challenge yourself. Make sure you're not showing up every week doing the same thing because like, you know what to do and living in that space of like, this is easy. It feels good because I know what I'm doing, but challenge yourself to do a little bit differently, add a little bit. Like we did it actually earlier today. It's just like, we're doing the same move, but add in different arms or do something different so that you feel like you're showing up differently. And you can also like explore more parts of yourself, like more facets of yourself within doing the same thing over and over.
So at least then how do you kind of encourage them to do that? Because at least then, I mean, you could tell the whole class, but then do you kind of go up to different people and like, hey, why don't you change this up a little bit?
I do it myself. So I'll like if I taught them something different, you know, like we've always been doing this, I'll do it differently
so
myself.
You'll change it up, and so you'll hold.
And I'll do it differently every time because there's people who are like, no, I need somebody to follow, and I need to do it like them. So I'll switch it up. What I'm doing, like maybe if my arms are going side to side, I'll just go all the way up or all the way down. So I'm like, I'm changing it every time though.
So you change the flow to kind of get them to practice this piece of like,
and then I'll stop and then see what choices they make on their own. Ooh. So I'm like, okay, your turn. Like you go. Okay. Make it different for you.
So you give them a new blueprint and then you let them freestyle and see what they come up with.
I'm sure you also can read individuals to see where they're at and be like, yeah, you're ready for a little bit more. You're ready for a little bit. Like, you're
like, hey, are you trying today?
Yeah, let's go ahead and push this line a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Like, you could go a little lower. You could go.
Yeah, there you go. Got it.
I'm like, there's no change without challenge. I'm like, challenge yourself.
Ooh, like that. Like that one.
And it's also, I think it's a powerful thing to see that the person who is guiding and facilitating has a level of trust in you. Right? And so it's like trusting yourself as a facilitator and then seeing something and then acknowledging and being like, you know what, I think we can challenge and go a little bit deeper here because I trust you to be able to do this. I trust that you have the tools, and seeing you go a little bit deeper, seeing you go a little bit further.
And it also feels good as the participant too. As a teacher, when I take classes and the teacher notices me and is like, no, you can do more. And I'm like, you're right, I can. And then I do it. And I'm like, they're like, yes, that's it. So just like getting that extra little, you know, push.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can also utilize that positive encouragement and trust to almost call somebody into either being brave or being more open than maybe what they're showing. Like, you've made it this far, right? Like, you scheduled a session, right? You actually came and you didn't cancel last minute. You showed up, right?
Yeah.
You came out, you've gotten all the way here. Yeah. I think you can also go a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Because you've invested so much in yourself, right?
Steal this one from
you know, I just know where you got, right? You know.
Yeah.
And I think that hearing that and seeing somebody observe that and name it, it's like, oh, maybe you're right. Well, I mean, it did come all the way here. I mean, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like to remind them that it's also, you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So whatever you need to get out of this, and however much, like, you're giving all this energy to other people, but you also deserve all this energy. How much do you think you deserve? And put that in there.
Ooh.
And then they're like, okay, yes. And they put in a little bit more.
Dropping gems.
It makes me think about restorative justice practices where there's a community that's often cited in New Zealand. They do like amazing restorative justice in this community. Like, some people go down there to train. But they were saying how in these communities, when someone is behaving in a way that is contrary to the harmony and to the cohesion of the larger group, maybe they're doing something destructive or harmful, what they'll do is they'll call them into a circle with the community around them. And instead of focusing on what they're doing that's not, they will all begin to name different things they've seen them do that is bringing harmony and connection. Ooh. And they'll all start saying, I see this, I see that, you've done this, you do this, you do this. And it makes maybe the harmful behavior the abnormality. It makes it the one-off.
Yeah.
And the affirmation.
We're doing all this well, we just got to fix this piece here.
Not even we got to fix this. It's like, this almost isn't even consistent with who you are.
Yeah.
Because look at all these different things that you've been doing. You've helped out your little sister. You've helped out this person. You're doing this. This isn't who you are. Right? And so, like, what opportunities are there to name those positive things that you see within a client or within someone to pull them into maybe challenging themselves more? You know, maybe being willing to explore or delve a little bit deeper and being like, man, look how hard you work for your family. You know, you go to work every single day, right? You come home, you do the dishes, right? You change the diaper, you put the kid down, right? Why not? Let's dig and let's really start continuing to grow so you can show up that much more for them, right? Mm-hmm. Work on that healing that much more, right? You've done all this. Of course you can challenge yourself here because look at what you do already.
Yeah.
You know, positive reinforcement.
Highlighting the strengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do you go about with encouraging openness, community? And
I think to encourage openness, I think one of the primary tools that I use is this perspective that we're all in a sort of polyamory type relationship dynamic that starts with your relationship with yourself, and that all your relationships are formed out of this relationship with yourself. And so the more that you know yourself, the more that you accept and embrace about who you are without the judgments, the more you're able to shape the relationships around you that'll be responsive to who you are. But the thing is, it works both ways. You can also shape those relationships to be an idea of who you think you are, even if it's not. And so I was talking with a client. This individual was doing the, I'm good, I'm fine. It is, like very one word answer. And I was like, okay, well, imagine that you have a friend who potentially might be going through certain things that only you know, right? But then you hit them up and you're like, hey, would you like to go hang out, do something? And they were just like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, for sure. And they act like everything's fine. They never bring it up to you, right? So you guys go on about your day and do everything, right? You never know what this person's going through. Then imagine you hit them up and then they say, actually, I don't know if I'm really trying to go out because I'm dealing with this. And then all of a sudden, because you care about that friend, and your response becomes, oh, okay, you all right? You talk? You want to come through? You want to come up, right?
Yeah.
I'm not responding to what you are telling me you are, right? What you're experiencing, what's going on with you. And so when we understand that my ability to accept me is going to shape what I'm going to experience in my relationships, then now it becomes, well, what do you want to experience? Do you want closeness? Do you want connection? Do you want people who care about you and show up for you? And because they might be there, but if you aren't ever open, and if you're not connected with even those needs, then how are you ever going to experience that with them? And the crazy part is they're probably willing. They probably can't wait to hang out with you and ask you what's going on and care about you and be there for you. But if you're not willing to be open with you and recognize your needs, if you're not able to say, hey, I'm hurting, or hey, I've had a really hard day, I'm tired, you don't even give them a chance to support you.
I was thinking more as like, if we're in a polyamory relationship and it begins with you, if you can't trust yourself to kind of be open.
Oh, yeah.
How are you expecting these relationships to other people?
Okay, so that's the other level of it, is that we are modeling for these other relationships. So what if your friend that you love and care about potentially is in need of your support? They need you to be there for them. But you modeling to them that you're always okay. No matter what, you're pushing through it, you're fine,
I don't talk about feelings.
You don't talk about any of it, right? Models to them that that's how they should deal with theirs. And they're struggling. They're dying inside. They're going through all this. They're depressed. They're frustrated. They're angry. This stuff is going crazy, haywire all around them. But because you model to them not to say anything, they don't say anything. And they're sitting there suffering and they need you. How would you feel about that? And are they not worth you modeling something that allows you to show up for them? Right. And so it's the back and forth. It's that interdependence. We are connected in this. It's not just me. It's not just you. Right. I don't need to be perfect because it's okay for you not to be perfect.
It's our responsibility to take care of ourselves and be open with ourselves so that we can be that for each other.
And allow others to take care of us. Allow others to come along and be like, yo, do you need a helping hand? And be intentional about it, because you're going to want them to do that for you. Like, you're going to want them to say, hey, I need you. And you have an opportunity to be like, for sure, let me go ahead and be here for you.
I can't even take care of myself. How am I going to let someone else take care of me? Whoa. I can't even talk to myself about my problems. How am I going to talk to them with you?
Or if I don't allow people to come and help support me, why would they
Yeah, why would
allow me to help support them.
Imagine that they would come and support me.
You know what's crazy? I love this topic. I love this topic because this is where I get into with like people who are really focused on like work and production. And it's like, well, imagine you're not spending time with your family because you're so focused on work and producing and making wealth and money and resources. But because of the lack of relationship, you don't even know how to apply it.
Ooh.
Matter of fact, because there's so much disconnect, you're not even there when they actually need you. You're off making the money.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't say anything. And you're over here making money. And you're thinking, I'm doing all this for them. Mm-hmm. And the whole while, it doesn't even matter because there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
You guys aren't even connecting. You're not sharing. You're not opening up. You're not developing the life that they're able to show up in relationship. Because I always try to say these days, relation does not equal relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You could be mother, you could be father, you could be sister, you could be brother, you could be best friend. It doesn't matter what the label is. It doesn't even matter the blood relation. If you are not actively participating in relationship, there isn't a relationship. Yeah. Or to whatever degree you are participating is the degree of relationship you will have and experience.
Right.
And so it's really important for individuals to begin to get this idea like, yeah, I'm creating this dynamic. I'm an active participant, even if I'm passive. Even if I'm not saying anything, I'm actually saying something.
Yep.
If I don't have time for you because I'm working, I'm also communicating I don't have time for you. And I can say it's for you, but am I asking? Am I checking it? Because what are you needing? Do I know what you're needing?
I mean, I give you the money for you to take care of what you need. So.
I paid for the ballet, right? I paid for ballet, so something you're good, right? Yeah. Oh, you was needing a hug. Oh, you need to spend time with
those.
I can pay for those. No, I can't because I gotta go to work. But don't worry. Next time when there's fees for your ballet, I got that, right? Or when there's fees for this, I'm gonna pay. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put you in a private school. And it's bro. It's when you get into all these different narratives that we create about who we're supposed to be, and not recognize that there is no supposed to. That each relationship is going to be completely different. Your relationship with you is different. There is no prototype for you. It's not one. So for you to go around and look at somebody else or something else or some idea and be like, oh yeah, that's how I'm supposed to. There is none for you. There is. And if you don't trust that inside of yourself, that you're figuring you out, then you won't even recognize your mechanisms that you need to have in place to manage you to show up in a relationship.
Or even to be able to admit how scary that is. Like, I'm figuring myself out,
bro,
and I'm going to change.
Bro.
As soon as I get it, it's going to shift, and then it's always going to be like that. And then I'm going to be with someone who also is trying to figure themselves out, and it's always going to shift. And then we have a kid together.
Bro, and this thing is shifting all the time.
It's shifting more frequently. It's like, But no, we can't talk about that.
We can't talk about it. Because I am supposed to be this, and I am being this, and therefore I am successful and a good father and a good partner because I'm doing these things.
Yeah. And if I don't, then it'll go to hell, and I'm horrible.
Exactly. And nobody wants me, cares about me, and nobody wants to be around me. And then all the while, they're like, okay. And then worse, you're imposing that on them. So now I'm going to be the perfect kid. And I'm going to be all the, and then I'm going to be the perfect partner. I'm going to be the perfect mom. And you got this family, and everybody's trying to be
in these boxes.
So and you're not actually connecting.
Yeah.
You're not actually relating. And then you end up in this world of what you're supposed to be and not necessarily who you are. And so your actual needs are never really getting met because you think all these things are fulfilled in this image, but that ain't you, bro.
It doesn't feel logically on paper. It looks good, but doesn't feel. And then we go to Nalah's class, and then
and then I can't move. I'm stiff.
And I can't get this pose, and then it all crumbles.
Yeah.
Wait till she starts doing classes with men and starts doing get into your hips and start winding. I was like, wind. I've been holding everything in to stay in this very rigid outlook of life and who I am, and all of a sudden you're telling me to move my energy. You mean the energy I've been trying to keep from saying
like,
I need
I'm
to
not
stop.
supposed to move like
that.
that.
This doesn't match the male gender rules.
Oh my, bro, say
that's
that.
That's too feminine.
This doesn't match this.
Yeah, and that is so hardwired and is so pervasive within our society. it has really reduced men into these tiny little boxes. Like we say it's a box, but the box is so damn small.
Yeah.
This thing is tiny.
Yeah.
And then we don't fit. And then we're trying to act like we're okay. And we're walking around twitching and angry and stressed out.
We're
And
not supposed to be angry.
Yeah, but I can be a little angry because then that's still masculine. But not too angry that I'm going to scare and lose my job. But then I could be angry here because you're supposed to be able to take it because you're my partner. But and then you're my kid, so you should be understanding because I love you. Because I love you. But and it's like all these signs and symptoms that this shit ain't working. It doesn't matter because I must fulfill this. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about how to, like, we talked about inner critics and stuff like that. But we didn't talk about, like, just race or gender roles.
Oh, my God.
Or just previous traumas that we're bringing into.
Bro. And when you start,
so
and that's the power of naming it to bring safety.
Yeah. Or having special classes or special, expertises.
I like that waistline class for men.
Oh, because I remembered how
jarring.
it was like, and just whine and let go. And I was like, I cannot let go. My mind is just looking at everybody else. Are they looking at me? I'm minding who's that walking by. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stand here a little bit and look like I'm minding, and it's that challenge, but I also think people are far braver than they realize. Because the same bravery it takes to accept those narratives, to accept those stereotypes, to accept the idea of who you're supposed to be, the same bravery that takes, you can put into you and to try something different.
And then again, it still goes back to those three components of just like one, having the right environment, the right place, the right class to kind of present that opportunity. And it's a welcoming environment with what you kind of put in there. It comes with the instructor, the therapist being able to kind of, hey, I'm accentuating acceptance, non-judgment, and being that connection you need to kind of feel comfortable. And then I'm putting things in you of just, hey, this is fine. You can let this go. This is a safe place. You can whine as much as you want. Other people are going to do it, or just hopefully you're trying to spark, at least if you're working in the group, one of them to be vulnerable enough to do a little shimmy, and then it turns into two, and then
and then I don't have to call people out. It's always like the like, oh, I like that. I like what you're doing with your waistline, and then people are like, oh, what's she doing? I want to do that. And then exactly. Okay.
It's a more important topic.
Safety.
But it's a practice. It's a practice of shifting that within yourself.
Yeah.
So that can ripple out to your community.
In the beginning, it's going to start with you, the instructor, the therapist, whomever, just being mindful about these three levels. And so that's what all goes into the space that you create.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. As always, Jeremiah Knight signing off. Nalah, love. Where can they find you?
So I have a YouTube channel. It's called Move with Love. Now, yes.
Okay, I
so
like
there's
that.
And then on Instagram, I'm at Nalah Love. So it's NALAHLALOVE. So Nalah Love.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna do LAH.
No. Right. That's also a way to do it. Yes.
Ross Nyanga.
Yeah.
Let me see. I am in the middle of a rebranding, but I'm going to begin going by Bridges and Stones relationship coaching. So Bridges and Stones.
Bridges and Stones.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Where did that come from?
Bridging from one maybe cultural, social context that you might be accustomed to or comfortable in to a different perspective, a different orientation of maybe how you can potentially see your life. And then stones, if you ever seen a stone in water that divides and it cuts the stream and it causes it to go in a different direction. So we're creating bridges, and we're also kind of cutting away from maybe what we would have been used to or seemingly everyone else was doing. right? And we're kind of finding our own path. So
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's from the should be to the authenticity.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From what should be to maybe what could be in your life. Choose you. See what can be.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, if you want more of them, you can tune to the therapy house. That's where they'll be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you guys again for tuning in. Appreciate my guests for being here. That's why they're so awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And of course, keep tuning into our episodes. Keep enjoying it. If you would like to be part of the podcast, DM us, hit us on the emails. We'll be around. We ain't hard to find. So like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. Peace.
Peace.